Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel, Rebecca Stew and the Crew. I'm Rebecca and today we're going to be making a rustic farmhouse wall decor using one of the pumpkin little pictures you can get from Dollar Tree, along with a couple other supplies you can also find at the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. Let's look at the supplies we're going to need first. So first we're going to need one of these pumpkins. You're also going to need some of those little metal words they sell in a 3-pack from the Dollar Tree, some flowers of your choice. I chose to use these off-white colored flowers, and some of the little leaves. You're also going to need a couple of these little wooden sticker leaves. Those are optional. You really don't have to add those. You're also going to need some of this twine. They come in a 3-pack at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need a canvas of your choice or just any picture you want to put in the center of this. You're also going to need some chicken wire. Now I got mine at Walmart, but if you don't want to go there, you can get one of these little baskets from Dollar Tree and use that in its place. And you're going to need a little piece of wood, or you can use foam board from Dollar Tree. So it's really up to you, and some ribbon of your choice to coordinate with this. You're also going to need some Mod Podge with a paintbrush, a pair of scissors, and then you will need a hot glue gun, a staple gun, which is optional but recommended, and painter's tape is what I use. So let's start crafting. The first thing we're going to do is take our little pumpkin form here from the Dollar Tree, cut the tag off, and cut out the center. Now we are going to save the center. We can use that for another craft. And then we're going to take our chicken wire and cut this down to size for the back of the pumpkin, and the gold here is what I consider the back. And then I took one of these large popsicle sticks and I used my staple gun just to staple the chicken wire down in place. This is just to hold it in place for now so that I can put this all the way around the pumpkin without it falling and moving all around. Then I take another popsicle stick and a pair of scissors and I put a little hole through the end of that, and this is to fish my twine through here. We're basically making like a needle here, so I don't tie it tight. I leave it pretty loose so I can use it again. I cut a little point at the end there to help get this through, and then we're going to wrap the twine around the little stick here, and this is to help us get it in and out of the chicken wire without us cutting our fingers all up, because it's pretty sharp on the edges. And the purpose of wrapping the twine all the way around the outside of this pumpkin also is to cover those edges of that chicken wire so you don't get all cut up and it doesn't scratch up your wall, and it just looks really pretty when you're done. So first time around I just go pretty wide just to get all the way around and get that chicken wire attached to the pumpkin frame here, and then you're going to go back around this a few times to fill in all the gaps if that's what you choose to do. You don't have to do it that way, but that's the way I did mine. So as you can see, this little popsicle stick craft stick needle really helps out a lot to get this twine in and out. So once you've got it wrapped all the way around and all those edges covered, we're ready to move on to the next part. So we're going to take either a piece of foam board that will fit in the center of that pumpkin or a piece of wood, and then you're going to take your picture of choice and you're going to attach it to the wood. So because mine is too large for my inside of the frame, I'm going to take the staples out and remove that, and that's why I'm going to attach it to the piece of wood. Now if you have a picture small enough to fit in the center, then you don't have to do this step. It's really optional. So now that I've got the canvas removed from the frame, I did save the frame. I can use that again as in another craft. I'm going to take the piece of wood, or again you can use foam board if you want, and I am going to figure out where I want this to be placed. So once I figure that out, I just kind of place it on the back and then start wrapping it around to make sure I have the picture centered where I'm going to want it to be. This is where the painter's tape and the staple gun come into play. So once I have that figured out where I want it to be, I'm going to flip it over, and the first thing you can do is just take your painter's tape and attach it here. Now if you want to, you can just use painter's tape for this whole entire step here, or you can use your staple gun and help it attach it to the piece of wood or foam board. Now foam board, the staples might not work, but then you could just use a regular staple, not a staple gun. So I put some Mod Podge on the wood and on the canvas here, after I have it taped on there, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around and smooth out all the air bubbles and pull it down pretty tight so it's nice and firm to the board so I don't have any bubbles and gaps and things in there. I'm just going to rub that down into place and make sure that all those air bubbles are out, and then flip it back over and finish wrapping this just like you would like a birthday present, you know, if you kind of want to put it that way. So as you can see, I removed my tape and did put staples in the canvas here for mine, but I am using a piece of wood. So then you just fold those corners in on both sides and fold that flap over, and again you're going to staple that into place, or you can use tape. Now I like to have a little bit more of a finished look to my project, so I didn't like the fact that the canvas didn't completely cover this piece of wood in the back, and even though you're not going to see it, it's going to be up against a wall, at least mine is. I didn't like leaving it that way, so I took a piece of contact paper when I was finished and I measured that out and then cut it to size and then just put that on the back. And I just got this contact paper again from the Dollar Tree, so that just gave it a little bit more of a finished look for me. So then I decide where I want it to be, make sure it's centered on my chicken wire. I turn it over and then I staple it to the chicken wire. So again, if you're using foam board, you can staple it with just a regular stapler. I'm not exactly sure how you would attach this without a stapler on the back here. I guess you could just attach it with some wire in some way, but then I went ahead and made some bows. I made a little white bow first and just tied that with the twine, and then I used some of the buffalo plaid ribbon and made another little bow. So you just wrap the ribbon around your fingers about 3 times, tie the center, and then separate the little loops. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these together and tie those, and just that's going to be my little bow to put up in the corner here. So the next step then is going to be attaching some of the flowers to the side. I'm just using the hot glue gun. I cut those all the way down off of the stem, but don't cut too close because you don't want your flower to fall apart. You still want that little green part on the back, or else it will come apart completely. So I added 3 of these flowers here, and then I went ahead and attached the little green leaves. I did 1 set of the leaves to each side of the flowers, and then I started taking the little bow and figuring out where I wanted that to be, and I decided to put that right in the middle with one of those little wooden stickers attached to the front there. Now I'm going to attach the little word harvest to the front using some hot glue as well. And then I wanted to add a few more accents, so I took some of those little natural wood leaves and put those on either side of the word harvest. Then I took the top here. I didn't really like the way the stem looked kind of plain, so I made a twine bow to put in the center of the stem up at the top, and then added some dark red leaves that I just had laying around the house from some old projects to either side to add some color and tie in the color of the barn. I then added a little piece of twine to the back so I could hang it, and I have it hanging up in my kitchen. I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys do too. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. Please subscribe if you guys haven't already. And if you would like, please like and share this video. I'd really appreciate it. And leave a comment down below. I read each and every one. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.